We're back here on Good Night. Tonight, unfortunately, I think we're going to have kind of an emotional interview because it's an honor to be joined on the phone by Steve Allison. He is one of the organizers of the 90-mile Ride for the Fallen Seven. Now, you're familiar, unfortunately, with the Fallen Seven, the terrible accident up in New Hampshire by an undocumented, unlicensed victim from Springfield. And joining us on the phone is one of the organizers, Steve Allison. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on Good Night.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for asking me to be on.
Well, I think it's an honor to have you here on the program, and I just want to, before the interview takes place, that I think it's so great what you did and how you did it so quickly in such a quick turnaround to honor the Fallen Sevens people. So tell people a little bit who maybe aren't aware of the situation, what really happened in your words.
Well, the 7 people that were killed, they were staying at a motel up there by Gorham, the Mount Jefferson View Hotel, or motel. Nice place. They were just leaving to go to the Gorham Legion Post for a charity function. And they got maybe 100 yards down the road, and the person that will remain nameless came in, more or less just plowed them right through them, killing 7 and injuring 3. And there were several other people with them that just witnessed this, that are just, the devastation was immense.
Now, I agree with you. We won't name him because we shouldn't name him. But he should have never been behind the wheel and never been driving.
Nope.
And this was, even the governor of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker, has declared this is a total fail. This person should have never been on the road. This is a black mark on the RMV in the state of Massachusetts, and now we have 7 people dead and 3 other people injured. With the injuries of the 3 other, are they what type of injuries?
I don't know the extent of the other injuries. 2 of them were released, I think, the next day from the hospital. 1 is still in there. I don't know any of the details on them. A lot of it has been very downplayed. There was an interview with the 2 that were released, and what they've gone through and what they saw, and one of them is a combat Marine. And he said what he saw was far worse than anything he ever saw in combat.
So let's talk a little bit about, so after the incident, you and a couple other of your friends organized this event. Let's talk about how you guys organized the event.
Well, chatting on Facebook, I have a friend, Charlie Lord. He's my cohort in the beginning of this. He was in the hospital because he had a spider bite on his leg, and it got infected. And we were just talking, hey, when you get out, let's put together just a little ride, get 20, maybe 50 people, maybe on the outside 100 people, and just do a little ride, go up there, lay a wreath there, and do a little prayer session. He thought that's great, so I went and posted a post on Facebook that almost immediately went viral. I just put up there, Charlie and I are thinking about having a ride up there in memory of the Fallen Seven, and that's where I just came up with Fallen Seven.
So on Saturday, in the pouring rain, you had over 3,000 bikers show up, more than 4,000 people, right?
Over 3,000 motorcycles and over 4,500 people.
4,500 people, just from a Facebook post.
Just because I put one post out and it went viral. It went literally cross-country in seconds, and people going, I want to be in on this. I want to be in. I want to help. What can I do? When are we going to do this?
So people from all over the country, from California to Florida, they all came and participated, correct?
Absolutely. In fact, the night before the ride, I was just going through Franconia, and that's because I was going up to Gorham to drop off some stuff for the memorial, and my phone rang. And friend of mine from Wisconsin. Hello, and hey, Steve, guess where I am? And I said, I don't know. He said, Concord, New Hampshire? And he said, yeah. Without him even knowing, him and his son rode up from Wisconsin to go on this. They left the morning before.
So what was the mood of the participants in the ride? I mean, when you talk to people, what did they say to you?
Everybody was before the ride. Everybody was extremely excited. They thought this was such a wonderful thing. Right from the beginning, everybody wanted to be involved with this. They wanted to participate in it. They wanted to show their love and respect for the fallen seven. And it was just the most amazing thing I saw when I got up to the Broken Spoke, where we were doing the central meeting point.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled in, and I just about started crying right then and there. Just a sea of bikes and people, and lines of people waiting to buy the T-shirts that were made in memory of them, buying patches and stickers and all that. It was the most amazing thing I ever saw. I go on the Boston Women's Vet Ride every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my musts that I go on. And it was the same kind of feeling, but a little different, because there was a little more reverence, a little more towards honor on this. It wasn't just a ride, to raise money for the Women's Vets, which I think is a fantastic organization.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't say enough about them. I do that ride every year, and I love it. It's one of my musts that I have to do. It was just, there's something different about the feeling. It also had the same feeling like I just stepped into the world's largest family reunion.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it was positive, because my words,
positive.
I'm angry about this. I mean, did you sense any anger out of people?
Only if you brought up about the driver. Otherwise, everybody was being very they wanted to honor the seven victims. They didn't even want to think about the driver.
Good. Okay,
so it was very up mood. It was, everybody was there for a purpose and all that, but at the same time, it was kept very light. And like I said, it was like I just walked into the largest family reunion in the world. People I'd never met before coming up to me, shaking my hand and giving me a hug, and I'm just trying to remember that I talked to these people. I don't know, but it always felt like I knew every one of those people that was there all my life, even if I had just met them.
Well, let's talk about how you pulled this off so quickly, because not only did you put it up on Facebook and it went viral, but I mean, you must have had the buy-in from the New Hampshire State Police. You must have had the buy-in from the local police forces. So talk a little bit about that planning process.
That was the hard part, actually. The easy part was getting the people. The day after we even thought about doing this, we saw how big it was going to get. I contacted New Hampshire State Patrol and told them that what we had going. At that time, we thought we might have 300 people. They were fine with that. But it just kept on growing and growing. And this was a non-registered, you don't register to go on this. You don't pay anything to go on this. This is completely free. And just more and more people wanted to go. And after a while, it got to the point where the State Patrol said, we can't do this. And
because it was too big. Because it was getting too big.
It was too big.
Right.
And, well, about 10 seconds after the State Patrol had put out a press release about that, within an hour, they had the State House had 700 calls from people going, this has got to go on. And immediately the state reached back out to us and said, well, set up a meeting. And they did an amazing job. They said, well, here's what we're going to do. And we're going to make this go on. No ifs, ands, but this ride's going to go on. They pulled out New Hampshire Department of Homeland Security, the State Patrol, the local police, DOT, the Emergency Operations Center, every single department they could to help out on this. And we worked out a whole new route that was going to work, that was going to be the least disruptive. They just gave us every bit of help that we could ever imagine. They contacted every police department along the way, even from where all the little satellite meetup places were, that we had traffic control to get to the main meetup place. The state of New Hampshire opened up the emergency. Oh my God, my mind's gone right now. The Emergency Operations Center for this ride, so they can monitor everything about this ride. It's the first time they've ever done anything like that for a ride.
Now, did you pull any permits or have to pay any permit fees or anything, or they did this all gratis?
None. Didn't have to do any of that.
Wow, I got to give a huge shout out to the legislature and the state police and all the local police. I mean, in New Hampshire, because there's probably 49 other states that would have said, no, you need a permit, you need this and that. So kudos to the state of New Hampshire. Yeah.
Yeah, they saw this was going to be something major and something really important, and they just absolutely bent over backwards to make this happen.
Boy, that is great. That is great.
It was phenomenal.
So this is going to be an annual event, I take it, going forward, I hope.
Right, but we are going to be doing it different from now on because we learned a lot on this one. It started off with me and Charlie just doing something, and then next thing you knew, I was going nuts. So I knew I have people volunteering to help, help get things organized and that. And I picked the most amazing team I could ever think of. Each person had a certain task to take care of. Somebody for logistics, one for police liaison, one for media liaison, just everything, and it just fell together just so perfectly. I can't think I don't even call them a team. I don't call them a staff. They're my family.
Well,
they're the ones that made this happen.
That is nice to hear, Steve. We're speaking with Steve Allison, one of the organizers of the Ride for the Fallen 7 up in New Hampshire, where over 3,000 bikers and over 4,500 participants came and honored the unfortunate death of the 7 riders. Talk to me a little bit, Steve, about the Jarheads Motorcycle Club. What do people need to know about the Jarheads Motorcycle Club?
Some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Really?
Straight out. Oh, when we approached them and we told them, well, what we were going to do, and if there was donations in that, how should we get them to them? And we had to go through chain of command, of course, like any MC. And they finally they threw their support behind us on that, and they gave us a lot of help. They just awesome people, and they led the ride for us. They came on board as a participant, but as the main benefactors of it too, and they were just wonderful people. Every one of them that I met treated me like if I was their own brother. They were.
Well, the biker community is a family community usually. If you're in the if you're a biker, you're in that type of family. But what it seems to have done is you've seemed to bring so many different families together about this, and I want to make sure that people can learn more about this. I mean, other than going to Steve Allison's Facebook page, is there a place that people can go to learn more, or more importantly, donate to the cause?
There is a place where you can donate straight to the Jarheads himself. I have to find the address here, though. Pardon me. Give me a second here. There is a GoFundMe for the Jarheads where people can make donations to.
Okay. And
also we have an address. It'll take me a couple of seconds to find it.
Take your time.
Yeah, I'm going to phone it for something. Where are we going?
No, but I think it's just important, Steve, that people, have a way to help and they want to participate, because even as big as this story is, this story's far from over. There's going to be some follow-up on the Massachusetts Legislature about how this happened. Like I said earlier, I'm angry about this. I know a lot of other people are angry about this. This is something that should not just be forgotten because you did one ride on, last Saturday. I want to, be able to keep this, so people can be able to participate. Were you able to find that link?
Well,
don't worry about it, because we'll find it and then we'll post it. We'll post it up as a link to the show and everything else. What else do people need to know? What else do people need?
If they go to our Facebook page, Ride for the Fallen 7, we have the links in there for and the address where you can send a check directly to the Jarhead.
Okay.
That way, there's no fees paid out to GoFundMe or anything. All the money, 100% of the money goes right to them.
So 100% of the proceeds goes right to the organization.
If you send the check right to the address that we have listed, and that way you can also find their address on their website, which is I do believe jarheadsmc.com. And
mc.com.
They have a link right there for it.
All right, so we'll post all those links to this interview, and I'll send you this so you can send it out to your friends and followers as well, and we'll send that out. What else do people need to know? We only got about a minute here left on Good Night. What else do people need to know, or how can they get involved?
The best way that they can get involved is if they keep an eye out on Facebook. When you see a tragedy happen, reach out and just ask, what can I do to help? That's one of the main things. What this entire ride did is brought the biker community, the veteran community, and the public together for awareness that when one is hurting, we are all hurting. That's where we want to go. Just reach out. Sometimes just reaching out and asking, is there anything I can do, can be one of the biggest things you can do to help ease pain, too.
Wow, Steve, that's a goosebump moment right there for you, because you know what? Nothing could be truer that's going to be said the rest of this week than that. Sometimes you just have to reach out to people and see what you can do to help. And you've made a big difference in the world. You and your group have made a big difference in the world, and we want to thank you for it.
I thank you for allowing me to be on here and say a few words, even though I do stutter.
You did great, Steve. We appreciate it. The Ride for the Fallen 7. Just go to Facebook, just search Ride for the Fallen 7, or go to jarheadsmc.com to learn more about it. Steve Allison, thanks for taking a couple minutes, and more importantly, thanks for making a big difference in the world. And we appreciate you being here on Good Night.
And thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
All right, we'll talk soon. That's Steve Allison for the Ride for the Fallen 7. You're watching Good Night. We'll be back right after this.